How would you get people to watch videos of boring law discussion?
Yeah, that's a $64,000 question. Yeah, I understand the question. I don't think that the subject matter is boring at all. I think the subject matter is engaging. It's intriguing. It's about civil justice. Mm-hmm. It affects all of our lives. It's the cornerstone. It's the foundation of our culture, of any culture. So a conversation about it ought to be provocative. It ought to be stimulating. It ought to be fun. And when you watch lawyers in the courtroom, they come to life oftentimes if they're good, particularly trial lawyers like our client. When they're in the courtroom, and their job is to persuade the jury to take their client's side. And so they're very, very good at communication. The problem happens very often is when the camera's turned on. A camera has an interesting impact on people. They suddenly think they have to perform and not just be themselves. And the trick with capturing these people so that what you see after it's done, what you see is real and engaging, that what you see pulls you in as a viewer, is to get them to forget that there's lights on, that there's a camera in their face, that they're having nothing more than a conversation with another person about what they do for a living. And the key for the producer of these videos is to establish that kind of relaxed but natural environment so that the best of the individual, whether it's a lawyer or whether it's someone who manufactures air conditioning supplies, is beginning to talk from their heart. There's a reason why people, lawyers, men, women, both, became lawyers in the first place. There's a connection they have with the work. And the beauty of working with individuals like this is because they feel their job. They don't just do it, they feel it. And the trick to producing good videos for the internet, and particularly for the internet, because why? Because it's not television, like most people think. That's where the mistakes are made. The mistakes are made when the videographers are thinking they're producing for a TV environment where the screen is further away from you. Very different with the internet. It's very different for two reasons. One, the screen is right up close. And two, and this is something that a lot of research is being done on now, and there's a lot of conversation about it, but there's a different dynamic that we have with the computer because we have our hands on it. And we can manipulate things. We could leave when we want to leave. We can come back when we want to come back. But just as importantly, we can affect the experience that we're having. So that changes the dynamic, and it's important to understand that, and all the more important to understand that with online video versus TV video, let's say, you want to capture what's going on inside the person's heart. You want to capture what's going on inside their emotional selves, almost their unconscious self, and get them past the point where they're just performing and they're connected to something that you've brought out of them as the director, as the producer, that resonates within them and brings them to life. And then when that happens, that's when good internet video is being produced. It's not just looking in the camera and talking to, like a home movie. Mm-hmm. That's what we typically see. We typically see home movie style videos that are done for the internet across the board. Unless it's a very produced piece like a television commercial that you see. If it's just an individual talking to you, in this case, the partner at the law firm or whoever the principal is that's doing the talking, you're just getting them talking. But when you bring them to life and you get them talking about their work, that changes everything. And it changes everything on a dynamic level, on a sensual level. It's how we're experiencing what we're hearing. And that makes all the difference in the world. And let me repeat that. All the difference in the world between average video and heartfelt video.